Good evening to all my wonderful viewers out there, and welcome back to our not-so-weekly podcast series, Sneakers and Stuff. In today's episode, episode 17, we're going to be covering some big topics in the streetwear, sneaker, fashion, and maybe even jewelry world. Some big topics that we're going to be covering in today's episode is that Supreme has recently opened their Milan flagship store. We're going to be covering that Drake is collaborating with Chrome Hearts to do some merch for his upcoming studio album. We're going to be covering that images of Travis Scott's Fragment Air Jordan 1s have finally released, and these are the images to do with the retail pairs, not the friends and family pairs. So this is some interesting stuff. We're going to be covering these three big topics and obviously many, many more in today's episode. Yes, welcome back, guys. It is Thursday, the 13th of May. Yeah, 13th of May. And I just finished up my shift at work, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to save it for Friday morning because I want to do an episode this Sunday. So let's get into it. Let's do episode 17 of our, again, not so weekly podcast series, but I ideally wanted it to be weekly. It's just, yeah, with everything going on in my life, it is quite hard to actually dedicate like a couple hours to write the episode up and then also do the episode for you guys. So I try my best. At least episode 17 isn't like 2 months or 3 months after the last episode like I did with episode 16. We're trying our best. But yes, guys, we've got a lot to cover today. A lot of recent releases, a lot of upcoming releases, and a lot of leaks and info that we definitely need to talk about on the channel. So I mentioned some of the three big topics that we're going to be covering, but we have got so much jam-packed for this episode, guys. Now, in this episode, like all the other episodes, I'm going to be covering it in 8 sections. So we have section 1, Sunday's best dressed, a nice little part of the podcast where I dedicate to dressing myself up in a nice little fit and also showcasing your fits that you guys tag me in the episodes as well. So if you want to feature in one of these episodes, please post a fit on Instagram, tag or send it to me in my DMs and go, you know, hashtag Sunday's best dressed, and you guys can feature in the podcast episodes. We have section 2, Heat on My Feet, a nice little part of the podcast where I like to dedicate some time to talk about a sneaker that I have recently been enjoying. Section 3 is going to be recent pickups, a part of the podcast where I talk about my recent sneaker, jewelry, and sometimes streetwear and fashion pickups there as well. Section 4 is going to be covering the recent releases, the sneaker, streetwear, and fashion releases that have happened in a recent amount of time. Moving on to section 5, we have streetwear and fashion news and rumors. This will be where I dedicate some time to talk about, streetwear rumors and fashion leaks and stuff like that. Section 6 is going to be the same sort of deal, but with the sneaker world. So talking about, sneaker rumors or sneaker leaks that have happened over ideally the past week or so. Moving into our final 2 sections, section 7 and section 8. Section 7, we have upcoming streetwear and fashion releases, where I'll be talking about the upcoming streetwear and fashion releases that are happening this week. I know that we don't have this much of this week to go, but we'll be covering a large chunk of releases that have kind of already happened. Sorry guys, I would have liked to record it last Sunday, but last Sunday was my birthday, so I didn't get to record it on time. And section 8, of course, if we just covered the, upcoming fashion and streetwear releases, section 8 is going to be the upcoming sneaker releases. So yes, guys, lots and lots of stuff to cover in today's episode. So we'll kick it off by covering section 1, which of course is going to be the little outfit that I threw together for episode 17. Let's dive in and have a look at the outfit that I put together. So for episode 17 today, guys, we have, well, this outfit. We have me wearing a pair of Converse high tops matched with some dark blue Levi's 501s, the waterless 501s. We then have it paired with a Uniqlo black merino turtleneck, And then the big statement piece, the big outwear piece that's obviously the highlight of the fit, is the Capital 12-ounce feather denim jacket that I recently proxied using Neokio. I really love this piece, and I tried as best as I could to match the bottom denim with the Capital jacket, but it's a tough color to match. I tucked in the black turtleneck as I really wanted the jacket to be accentuated on the outfit. I really wanted it to be the most standout piece, and I didn't want the turtleneck to hang out from the bottom of it, as the jacket is quite short in length. But this is the outfit for episode 17, guys. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And that was it, guys. That was Sunday's Best Dressed for episode 17, as I would normally do this episode or this podcast series on a Sunday, which I'm hoping I can get episode 18 out this Sunday to bring back the tradition a little bit. What we have now is section 2, Heat on My Feet, where I'll talk about a sneaker that I have recently been enjoying. This week, it's going to go to a regular contender that appears quite a bit on the channel, and it is going to go to the Air Jordan 1 Breads, the 2016 Retro. I picked these up way back on, I want to say, my 18th birthday for around retail. That was a different time in the sneaker world where you could pick up high, price Jordans at around retail, or at max 2 times retail. Recently it was freezing cold in Australia, and I decided to wear my Bred ones during that day, and I noticed that these, I don't know how or why, super winterized. I was well set. Like, I know it is a full leather shoe with a rubber outsole, so there is literally no breathable elements to the shoe besides the toe box where the little holes are punched in, but my feet, they were kept damn warm in that cold day with this pair. So I thought, you know what? It's a steezy colorway. It's an iconic colorway. My only pet peeve is that tumbled leather they chose for the red or the bread part of the shoe. But apart from that, it's a solid Jordan 1 iconic colorway. It kept my feet warm on that cold day that we had recently. So I'm going to give it to the Bred ones this week, guys. For episode 17, it's going to go to the Bred Jordan 1s. Let me know what sneakers you have recently been enjoying. Let me know in that comment section below. But we'll move on over now to section 3, which is, of course, recent pickups. Moving into section 3 now, guys, we have recent pickups. Now, for me, as of late, I've kind of been holding off on picking up a lot of stuff in excess. These days, with coronavirus and the uncertainty of my current job at the moment, I haven't been spending as much. What I have been instead doing is really just, I've dedicated 2 accounts, one to sneakers and one to clothing, and every now and then I've been chucking in a bit of money in both. And when they reach a total for an item that I'm interested in, then I spend it, instead of just, recklessly spending money that I have on standby. I think it's a much better way to manage my money, and it means that, of course, that I have been buying less and less as of late. Now, as you know, recently it was my birthday on May the 9th. I have mentioned it quite a few times on the channel, and I have actually picked a few things up because it was my birthday. But still following my money managing ways by, only taking money out of my sneaker account and my, clothing account and stuff like that. So I have bought both a new pair of sneakers, which, depending on if GOAT, thinks they're what the seller said they were, brand new, unworn, everything like that, I should be getting them sometime soon once, GOAT authenticates them. And I did buy a little something off Grail as well. Something, I'll give you a little clue with that item. It is Wu-Tang related. That's all I'm going to give you. That's all I'm going to give you, but I have picked up some stuff for my birthday. Now, the only item that I've actually recently picked up that I have in hand that I did do an unboxing video for was actually featured in Sunday's Best Dressed today, which of course is the Capital 12-ounce feather denim jacket. Now, I really love this piece, guys. It's quite dark now that the sun's gone down and I'm recording at night, but it's this really nice blue denim jacket that when they created it, they threaded into the they threaded in a different color thread to give it this like feather graphic all over it. It's frayed at the bottom to continue its feather boho look. I just really like this piece. Now this was the biggest size they had it in, a size 4, and as I showcase in both the Sunday's Best Dressed and the unboxing video, it is a little bit tight on me, but I measured it all out before purchasing this piece, before proxying it to me, and I knew it was going to be a little bit small on me, but I just really wanted it because I really love the design on it. It's a really sick denim jacket, and it was just something that I'd never seen before. Like, I couldn't think of another brand that had, you know, applied a graphic as big as this, but didn't just print the graphic. They actually, you know, used materials and used a different thread to put the graphic into the piece instead of printing on top of it. I just thought the amount of effort that had gone into it was just amazing, and I really love this piece. There is an overcoat version, which is actually a lot bigger in size, that is also available on Capital's online store, and I think from memory I did mention it in a pickups video as one of the pieces that I would be interested in picking up. Maybe further down the line, when I save up the money, I will pick up that piece, hopefully, but for now, I can really enjoy just the jacket version. It's just a really solid piece that I love, guys, and I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on it. Now, let me know in that comment section below, have you guys been picking up anything as of late? I know it's, you know, hard times in 2021 and 2020. A lot of us are hit financially, so maybe you haven't been picking up a lot, but let me know. Let me know in that comment section below if you have been picking up any new sneakers, clothing, or maybe even jewelry. Let me know. I want to hear from you guys. But that is it. That is my recent pickups, section 3. So we'll move on over now to our biggest and most of the time longest section, which is recent releases. Now, section 4, guys, we're going to be covering everything that released from, let me just get it there, the 19th of the 4th, so the 19th of April, to the 2nd of the 5th. I think that's as far as we're going to go when it comes to recent streetwear and fashion releases, as well as sneaker releases. To start it off with, I think we should talk about the streetwear and fashion releases that happened, and then we'll move into the sneaker releases that happened in that period as well. So to kick it off with, we'll start talking about Supreme New York. Supreme released their 9th week and their 10th week in that period. We've started off with week 9 released on the 22nd of April. In week 9 we got the South to West 8 collaboration. That was the collaboration with that like wacky, I guess, I don't even know what to call it. I can blanket label it as camo, but I can't pin exactly what type of camo it is. It's like woodland camo meets LSD, and that's what they had. They applied it to like jackets, pants, hats. They did it to everything. Those pieces weren't really for me. I wasn't really feeling them. What I was feeling was this like all over print, Aboriginal artwork styled piece that had some like barbed wire and stuff on it. It was a fleece. I thought it was really cool. I just liked the colors of it. Not so much the banana one or the black one, but that center color there, that like bluey green, that was kind of nice. That was a nice piece in week 9, and I felt like it was one that went under the radar as well. People kind of overlooked it. Moving into week 9 as well, we also had things like the marathon clock, the Seco marathon clock. That was one of the biggest accessories releasing that week. It was the one that left the biggest impression. To be honest, I wasn't too interested in it. I was more interested in the clothing that actually released in that week. Then moving into week 10, which released on the 29th of April, we had the frayed logos denim pieces. So these were the pieces that were, the Supreme logo was cut or frayed into them. We had it on some jeans, we had it on a denim trucker jacket. My favorite was the trucker jacket. I just thought it was really cool. I liked it in mainly the blue color, also in the red. I was kind of surprised that Supreme did a red denim option as well. Also releasing in week 10, we got the Patches denim hockey jersey, I want to say. No, baseball jersey. Baseball jersey. Featured a bunch of all over Supreme logos all over it. I thought it was kind of cool. It came in a black, blue, and a white. My favorite was probably the blue or the white, but that was everything that Supreme released in that period between the 19th of April to the 2nd of May. Moving into Kith, we had a couple Kith releases. We had that Kith released their Earth Day drop, which was a 230 GSM recycled cotton t-shirt. A little t-shirt to, commemorate Earth Day, and it was made out of recycled cotton as an attempt to showcase that Kith is willing to move to more sustainable options for their pieces. I mean, it was cool. The graphic on it was alright, but I just kind of like the effort that they put in to, do a sustainable piece for the day that's meant to celebrate sustainability and things like that. We had a cool little drop that I just wanted to highlight. It's not one of the regular brands that we cover on the channel, but the I think it's just Cloth Surgeon. Initially I thought it was Clothes Surgeon, but I think it's Cloth Surgeon. He, she, they, whoever they are, did a Burberry scarf capsule. So what they did is they got a bunch of vintage or new Burberry scarves, sliced them up, and made them into a series of pieces for a little collection. They did a vest, which I was kind of like, that's odd and not really my flavor, but they did this like reconstructed overcoat, and the only one that I saw available was a large. I could fit into it, but I didn't buy it. But man, was I feeling it. I loved its look. I love it when people take, especially overcoats, because it's one of my favorite outwear pieces, and they do crazy things with either materials, designs, or just the silhouette itself. I love it when they do something out of the box with it. Because it's just, I don't know, it's just such a piece that a lot of people formalize, but I like it when people make it a little bit crazy, a little bit casual, and, change people's perceptions of what an overcoat really is. And I felt like that was here with this reconstructed one from Burberry Scarves. I thought it was really, really cool. It dropped on the 27th of April. It was a really, really solid little capsule. Moving into more of the mainstream streetwear high fashion world, we had that Off-White collaborated with Babylon LA to do a nice little capsule on the 22nd of April. So the same date that week 9 of Supreme's Spring Summer collection dropped. There was a cool little jacket with some cool skulls on it, and a cool hoodie as well. The photo shoot I thought was really, really well done for that capsule as well. I really liked how they did the photos for it. Moving on, unfortunately with DMX's passing, we got some collaborative pieces with Balenciaga, Yeezy, and of course DMX's estate. What happened is that Kanye released a long sleeve for $200 on the 25th of the 4th, with most of the proceeds, if not all the proceeds, I'm unsure on the actual amount, going to DMX's estate there. Look, it's a once-in-a-lifetime collaboration. When will we ever see Balenciaga, Yeezy, Kanye, and DMX come together? But yeah, I don't know, $200 for a long sleeve was kind of pricey, but it was on a Balenciaga quality long sleeve, and Balenciaga anything is just dumb expensive. So in the grand scheme of things, $200 for a long sleeve is actually cheap in the Balenciaga world, which whether or not you agree or disagree with that is up to you, to be honest. We had Valentino collaborate with Levis. Yes, the very high-end Italian fashion brand collaborated with simple workwear denim icons Levis. They released some 517s for their upcoming collection. Now, what I want to highlight here that's quite interesting about this collaboration is that there's these limited quantity to 517 in total worldwide, which are going to retail for around $1,315. And these ones are vintage 517s, cut up, recycled, and redone to make these pairs. So these limited to 517 pairs, they are redone, recycled ones that Valentino has gone and curated around the world. Those are going to be impossible to get at a retail price. I'm quite amazed that Valentino is willing to do something like this, because it's not too often these days that high-end fashion brands go to recycling and looking for already used materials for upcoming collections, a lot of the time, a lot of the appeal is finding these hard to find or really high quality materials. So seeing something like this, I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to highlight it for you guys on the channel. Now, if you miss out on the 517 limited quantity version, that's okay, because they are also releasing a normal version of their 517s collab with Levi's, but just not for a normal Levi's 517 price tag, obviously. No, they're releasing the normal edition for $1,213 US, around about. These are conversions from the Japanese price, so they're a little bit hit or miss on what they actually will come out to. But basically, the limited versions that are, limited to 517, they will release for around $1,300 US, and the normal version will release for $1,200-ish. So about $100 price tag difference on the retail and the on the retail version, sorry. But I can imagine that the resell on the limited to 517 and the generic ones is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I can see the grailed price tags right now. But it was a really cool collab, and I would love to see more of this in the future. More of this like recycled stuff for the later seasons and stuff. Moving into more Japanese, moving into a Japanese release, we have that, I'm going to try and pronounce this, Wacko Maria, if I'm pronouncing that right. Wacko Maria collaborated with Jean-Michel Basqui's estate to do a series of rayon button-ups. Now recently, as you guys may or may not know, I've become a huge fan of all over print rayon button-ups. They're just such an easy piece to wear in the summer. They're lightweight, they're breathable. It's just ideal for summer. Just not ideal if you iron them too hot, wash them too hot, or wear bags over the top of them because they start piling. Look, rayon shirts aren't perfect, but they are very, very nice. I've really come to enjoy them recently. So Wacko Maria did a series of Jean-Michel Basqui's paintings all over them and released them to their online store. Now, of course, they sold out instantly. That kind of stuff is hot stuff. They retailed for $330 US, and they released on the 1st of the 5th, so the 1st of May. I would have loved to pick up some of these. These are awesome. $330 US for a rayon shirt is incredibly pricey though. There are definitely cheaper alternatives out there. Hell, even Supreme is cheaper in comparison when it comes to rayon shirts. So yeah, pretty wild stuff there. But that's all the recent releases that I have covered from the 19th of April to the 2nd of May, guys. Let me know if I missed out on any that you guys definitely thought were really cool that released in that time period. But we'll move on over now, still in section 4 though, and we'll cover the sneaker and shoe releases, I guess, that happened in that time period as well. Now moving into the sneakers that released recently, guys, to kick it off, we have the Reebok Kamikaze 2s releasing in the Candyland colorway. Yeah, they were definitely not lying with the Candyland colorway name. This one is wild. It is covered in color. For me, it's gonna be a little bit of a miss. This released for $120 US though on the 23rd of April. Moving on, we had Nike and Atmos collaborate for some LeBron 18 lows in the Cherry Blossom colorway. I liked the little subtle changes that Atmos did to these LeBron 18 lows. They just spiced them up a little bit with a nice little color change, although they're not really my silhouette. I'm not a huge fan of like performance basketball shoes and shoes with huge Air Max bubbles, and really the Air Max series as well. Just not my vibe, just not my thing. Hit me with those 80s basketball shoes and those 90s basketball shoes and I'm set for life. I love those silhouettes. But yeah, some of you guys might really enjoy this sneaker. It released for $170 US on the 23rd of the 4th. Well, moving into, we had Nike SB release a Dunk High Hawaii colorway. This one was the one with the all over like floral crazy print. It was released for $120 US and it released on the 23rd of the 4th. I thought it was alright. It was an alright colorway. It was very Nike SB to do something as crazy and wacky and colorful as this Nike SB Dunk High, because, well, they're basically known for doing that these days. Next, moving into the Yeezy world, we had that Adidas released the Yeezy Boost 700 Bright Blues. Orange midsole, bright blue upper. It was an odd choice. I don't know where the direction of Yeezys, or at least Adidas Yeezys, are going these days. Because it used to be they were focused very much like how Kanye had his fashion line, where it was earthy tones and really neutral and easy to wear colors. These days, it kind of just seems like they spin a color wheel and they're like, blue. What are we going to make the sole? Spin it again. Orange. Let's do it. It's just, I don't know. I don't get the overall theme they're trying to go for these days. Some direction for Yeezys would be really nice these days. But anyway, these bright blue 700s released for $240 USD on the 24th of April. We had the Yeezy slides releasing in the core, pure silver, and, well, yeah, it's called pure, but it's like a silvery sand type color. And then we have the resin, which are in the green. These released for $55 US on the 26th of 4th. Now, for a little collaboration, we had that Nike collaborated with Matthew M. Williams, the designer behind A-League Studios, the brand that made this jewelry that I absolutely love and wear basically every single day. Yes, they collaborated with Matthew M. Williams again to do the Zoom 4s, this time in two colorways. We got it in a triple black, so an all black, or we got it in a rust colorway. Either colorway released for a whopping $450 US, and they both released on the 27th of April. We had that the Air Jordan 4 UNCs, or University Blues, released for $200 US. They released on the 28th of the 4th. Look, I had some issues with this shoe. I didn't mind the colorway. The use of color was nice, but I really just want OG branding on my Jordans these days, man. I just want like Air on the back. I just want the normal Jumpman on the tongue. I don't know what Jordan Brand's doing these days. They just do all this wacky stuff where they're throwing logos that don't, have any meaning to the original shoes all over the shoe. It just, I don't know, it doesn't feel right to me. They could have done a really hit colorway for me personally if they just changed up the branding on this shoe. I thought it was really nice, but I'll be missing out on this one. But if you guys are interested, it released on the 28th of the 4th for $200 USD. You can probably pick it up on the secondary market for pretty close to retail these days. Now moving on, we had a women's collaborative Jordan release. We had the Air Jordan 3. Is it Ama Meri? Is that how you pronounce it? I honestly don't know. Very nice shoe though. Here we had for $200 USD, released on the 28th of the 4th, a amazing Air Jordan 3 with co-branding, this awesome splash of color on it, and just like the overall tone of the shoe was kept quite neutral, kept toned down, but it had this very vintage feel to it with the colors and stuff like that. It was just really, really nice. I really like this collaboration. Shame to say that it was a women's exclusive. I would have loved to pick it up in a men's size 16 or 17, but that would be like a women's 18 and a half or a 19 or something ridiculous like that. So unfortunately, I'm not LeBron James. I'm not going to get a personal pair for free because he could basically do that. He could just call up and he gets one. But I would have loved to get one of these. These are an amazing collaboration. Coming up next, we had another collab. We had that Nike and Sacai, love Sacai, collaborated on two colorways of their Vapor Waffle. They're released in a dark iris and a sesame blue void. They both released for $180 US, and they both released on the 29th of the 4th. Some two very solid colors for their recently released collaborative Vapor Waffle. I love the Nike Sacai collaborations. I love Sacai as a standalone brand, and when they collaborate with Nike, I'm really keen to see these collaborations go, forward. I really like the use of picking older Nike models and spicing them up by making these Frankenstein models with newer or different models, creating these crazy wacky ones. I just think they're really, really cool. I think it's really, really distinctly Sakai, you know, like I can't think of many other brands that are collaborating with Nike that are doing this. So I really, really like that. Big thumbs up from me on either of the colorways. We have a bougie collaboration. Next we have that Mason Margiela collaborated with Reebok to do some Instapump Fury tabbies, or tabby Oxfords, and they released for $995, which is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. They dropped on the 30th of the 4th and they released in black, white, or if you like a little bit of flavor, you just want to spice it up with some flavor, they're released in a citron as well. Look, I don't mind the model too much. The whole idea of the tabbies is to have the toe separated from the rest of the feet to give it that iconic look. I don't mind these. I like it that Mason Margiela is collaborating with Reebok and not someone, you know, not like Adidas or Nike, not just the big two. Like collaborating with other brands definitely makes it a lot more interesting. Yeah, but wild. I can definitely see this being big in the Asian market because whenever I see people out and about wearing Reeboks or wearing Instapumps, it seems to be the Asian community. They seem to really, really love them, and I feel like this collaboration is going to very much appeal to them. I could be incorrect, but just from purely observational, you know, reasons, I feel like it'll be a big hit for them. But no matter what community you are from, $995 is not cheap. Especially for Reeboks. But yeah, if you're interested in them, as I said, they've already released on the 30th of 4th, but maybe they're still in stock because they expensive. Okay, well, we're continuing on with our expensive designer collaborations. What we have next is that Asics and Vivienne Westwood collaborated on the Gel Kayano 27s. They retailed for $305, so a lot cheaper than the Mason Margiela Reeboks, and they released on the 30th of the 4th, 2021, of course. They released in either a tan or a white colorway and featured military grade materials used on the upper. Now, I didn't look into this one too much, but Vivienne Westwood's past ASIC collaborations, what she usually does is she usually picks either a pair of shoes or a theme in one of her older collections, and she then applies that to these latest ASIC models. The most recent one, which I think was done on the Gel Kayano 26s, featured a mesh like fishing net over the top of it, and that was referencing one of her 80s collections where or one of her first collections where she did it on pirates, something like that. It was something on the lines of that, but the idea is that she takes influence from her older collections and applies it to these new ASIC sneakers. I think it's a cool thing. I think they very much go under the radar. Like, I know Vivienne Westwood isn't, you know, making leaps and bounds in the fashion world these days, but I feel like either both her collections and her collaborations kind of get pushed under the rug. And I kind of like highlighting them in this series because then you guys get to see them, and I definitely feel like they need to be talked about. But I thought this was a cool collab. I'd be more interested if she did like a casual shoe instead of such a, you know, beefy running shoe like the Gel Kayanos, but who knows? Maybe time will tell. We'll see something like that. The next sneaker we're going to be talking about, we have the Travis Scott Air Jordan 6 British British khaki 6s released for $250. They're released on the 30th of the 4th. Yeah, look, I don't know why it's British khaki. It's odd that they've specifically said that, unless there's like an iconic color for khaki pants that only the British have, or they were known for popularizing it in Britain, and I'm just totally missing out on the little, you know, connection here. But whatever. It's this nice brown color. I think the color's well applied to this silhouette, and they've even changed up the pocket a little bit from the previous Air Jordan 6, because from memory, the previous Air Jordan 6, the olive green ones, had a button closure pocket on it. This one has a zip closure. I know, they've revolutionized it. But hey, they've at least changed it up. Yeah, look, they're alright. I don't, you know, have anything against them. I don't think they even released in my size this time around, because the green ones released in my size, but I don't think these ones did. I'll have to look into it. I'd be keen on them if they weren't going for dumb money, but they're going for dumb money at the moment. But I'd love to know how you feel about this one, if you like it more than the olive green ones or not. Do you like the new ones, or do you like the old ones? Let me know in that comment section below. And last but not least, the last recent release that we're going to be covering today is the Air Jordan 13 Gym Red Flint Greys. They're released for $190 on the 1st of May. These are alright. Most people, well, I don't want to generalize and say most people, but a lot of sneakerheads, or at least a lot of people that are into Jordans, generally skip over the later models like the 12s and the 13s these days. Don't understand why. I guess it's probably because, you know, mainstream rappers and celebrities aren't wearing them, but honestly, from a, you know, streetwear sneaker standpoint, the 12s and 13s are very, very good, and I think very much are overlooked. I think this 13, the Gym Red Flint Greys, whatever you want to call them, are a nice colorway. White, red, grey, simple color blocking. I don't think you can go wrong with it. I think it's very nice, and if you're able to pick them up for retail or below, I think it's a worthy cop, man. I think you should definitely pick them up. But yeah, that is everything that I wanted to talk about in recent releases, guys. So we'll move on over now to section 5 of the podcast, which of course is sneaker and fashion news and rumors. Moving into section 5, guys, streetwear and fashion news and rumors. We'll dive into the big one this week, which is that Supreme has opened their Milan flagship store in Italy. This is some pretty big news. This is the first store that they have opened in Italy from my knowledge, and it looks like they're expanding worldwide, which means a lot of things. Obviously, just talking about it quite quickly, it means that we got a new BOGO to celebrate the new store, a nice BOGO t-shirt, but it also means that the Supreme outreach is expanding, which means that there will be more storefronts, and I'm going to assume more supply on its upcoming seasons. Now, that's a big assumption. Supreme could open more flagship stores and still keep the supply of their items quite low to have the, you know, artificial demand stay quite high for consumers. So they keep selling out of their products. But that means that the quantity sent to all the flagship stores would be quite thin as they increase the flagship stores. So I feel like they have to increase the supply of their, you know, upcoming seasons to, you know, have enough quantity at all the flagship stores. That means that the resale price on Supreme will eventually go down because there is more supply to meet the demand. Basic economic stuff. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of people don't like this because it ruins the brand's imagery, because they love the exclusiveness of the brand. That's the main reason they're drawn to it. Personally, I don't mind Supreme opening more flagship stores. It means more people can enjoy the brand. I would love to have one in Australia, as we have a big skating community down here, but we don't have any, I guess, big dedicated skating brands. Like, we get obviously all the big ones from America, but we just, I don't know, don't have some huge well-renowned skate stores, and I feel like Supreme would set the marker to open up a lot of those. I don't know, that's at least how I feel. But yeah, I'm very much pro them opening up more stores, and I would love to see one in various other regions around the world, because I just enjoy the brand for its quality and its, you know, funny, goofy pieces that it releases every week. So more Supreme stores is a, you know, big thumbs up for me. Some people might have issues with it because, oh no, their BOGO is going to decrease in value because there's more of them in the world. Who cares? I would love to know what you guys think of either the, you know, the new store opening or the new BOGO dropped, or the new store opening. How do you feel about it all? Moving into more news now, we're going to be talking about that Chrome Hearts made a custom interior for a Rolls-Royce for Drake. So Drake requested that Chrome Hearts, the leather brand that moved into a biker brand, that moved into a jewelry brand, that then moved into just a bit of everything, to be honest. Basically, they do custom leather and sterling silver detailing on pieces. They've now moved into clothing, and they're now doing their own clothing as well. Rappers wear it all the time, big celebrities wear it. It comes with a hefty price tag because it's all handmade in the United States, from what I know, so it's very expensive. So they did the interior leather for Drake's Rolls Royce. It's pretty cool. It's very, I don't know, look, I have all this money and this brand's hot, and you know, I don't know, I just feel like whenever Drake really gets into a brand, it definitely kills it because he takes it to the extremes. When, I don't know, I'd be much more impressed or into it if Drake just wore just a Chrome Hearts piece every now and then. This kind of stuff is starting to get a little bit excessive, where I'm just seeing it all the time, and I'm like, the whole appeal of it was that it was like that nice little piece in an outfit. It wasn't the whole outfit. It was something that was expensive, and if you knew, you knew, but it wasn't like, it wasn't abundant, it wasn't, you know, obviously super flashy and super expensive. But with this, I don't know, the Rolls Royce interior being done, I don't know. It felt kind of tacky to me, but maybe you guys will feel different about it. Would you chrome hearts the interior of your car? I just hit me with the jewelry. I just love the, you know, rings and the necklaces and stuff like that, and, you know, the belts and stuff. Just the jewelry. That's all I need. Anything else more than that, it gets a little bit too much for my taste. Talking about more Chrome Hearts news, we're going to be covering the big topic that is that Chrome Hearts is collaborating with Drake to do some merch for his upcoming album. So Drake's upcoming studio album is Certified Lover Boy, from what I know. Very odd name for his albums. To be honest, to be real with you, I am a big fan of you know, hip hop and music in general. I haven't been the hugest fan of Drake moving on beyond probably about 2014 or 15. His early to mid 2010s projects were really, really good. After that, he's really kind of just dropped the ball on making consistent projects. He's good at making, you know, chart-topping singles, but albums, he's been a bit lacking recently. Anyway, for his new album, he's collaborating with Chrome Hearts and doing a bunch of hoodies. They're all just going to be incredibly overpriced hoodies done as album merch, and I get it. You like Chrome Hearts, you like expensive stuff, but it has to be tasteful. You can't just buy it because it's expensive. You gotta have some taste. I know I'm saying that wearing a Supreme BOGO and literally nothing else, but like, come on, man. You gotta change it up. It's just gonna give it too much for me. And now that Chrome Hearts is doing merch for an artist, this is a trend that we're just gonna see explode probably in the next 12 months. But that's all I gotta say in section 5, guys, in streetwear and fashion news and rumors. Let me know if I missed out on anything that is worth mentioning as well in that comment section below. But we'll move on over now and have a look at section 6, which is sneaker news and rumors. Now moving into section 6, guys, streetwear news and rumors. Kick it off, we have that the Air Jordan 2s that Bill Murray wore in Space Jam recently sold for $22,400 US. I honestly thought that they would sell for a little bit more. I'm quite surprised that it sold for, I guess, only 20 grand, but quite interestingly, it came with the box that they originally released in, and they came with the socks that Bill Murray wore as well. Probably recommend washing them if you ever plan on wearing the socks. Maybe just leave them in the box if that's the case. But I'm a huge fan of the Air Jordan 2, and it's just a little bit of sneaker history and a little bit of pop culture history right there. So I kind of thought it was cool that it just got sold at auction, and I thought I'd bring it up to you guys today in today's episode. I want to talk about that we have the now confirmed rumor. It was initially a rumor, but now it's confirmed, but only one of the two pairs that are releasing are 100% confirmed. The second one, still unconfirmed. To explain, what we've got is that Union LA is collaborating with Jordan Brand to do a 30th anniversary collab to celebrate Union's 30th anniversary. So as you guys remember, or maybe you don't, back in 2019, it would be 2019, right? Because the 30th anniversary of the Air Jordan 4 was in 2019. It was either 2019, yeah, it had to be 20, it couldn't be 2020. Either way, we got a collaboration between Union LA and Jordan Brand to do a pair of Air Jordan, or a couple pairs of Air Jordan 4s with the tungstone forward, so it says Air Jordan on the front of it. We're now going to apparently get two colorways of it to celebrate Union's 30th anniversary. Now, one of them has been confirmed, this like greeny purple one, but the second colorway, that one we haven't seen yet. So I'm wondering if that one's coming out at all, or if we're just getting one colorway. Again, I don't know. Union LA does have a couple of Air Jordan 4 collab colorways in the vault, as our Union LA, back when the collaboration released initially for the Jordan 4s, at a little conference, they showcased some of the sample colorways that they made. So they definitely do have a couple colorways they could bring out that are in the vault. Whether or not they're going to hit as much as the first ones, honestly, up to them. Depends on what colorways they make. But we'll have to see if the second colorway that's been, rumored to come out does come out, or if we're just going to get this one now confirmed or leaked one that was showcased to us if that one comes out to celebrate Union's 30th. We'll just have to wait and see. Moving on, just a quick little update for you guys. So as we mentioned in today's video, in the recent releases, we had those Yeezy slides. Now what is happening is apparently those Yeezy slides are restocking every 2 months this year via Yeezy Mafia, via their online store. I just thought this was kind of interesting because the slides, as much as they were kind of dunked on when they first released, they popped off once they released at the retail stores. $55 US, people were picking them up like crazy. They're really cool. I like their minimalistic one piece construction. Like, it's not multiple pieces coming together to make the slide, it's literally just one piece of foam that's been cut out. I really like that. I think that's really, really cool. But yeah, these are allegedly restocking every 2 months now, so don't think you can make a lot of money on them buying into Yeezy slides, because now, as I just showcased, it's going to be a dying secondary market there. Moving into one of the big things that's happening, one of the big things that we want to talk about in this episode is that the images of the retail pairs, the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1s, finally released. So we had some leaked images, we had some friends and family images release of pairs that Travis Scott had given to obviously friends and family, but we hadn't seen the retail pair as of yet. We now have official images. Well, not official, it's not like Nike's come out and said these are coming, but we have images of the retail pair now, and they're quite interesting. I'd love to dive into them more in a sneaker talk video or something like that. Definitely let me know in the comment section below if you want me to dive into the nitty-gritty details of it in another video, but I just thought I'd mention that if we're now seeing the images of the retail pairs, that must mean they're coming at some point. Although there is also the rumor, this is another one just to add to the list, there's apparently only going to be 15,000 pairs releasing worldwide. Unconfirmed rumor. But if that's the case, that's going to be one of the most limited sneaker releases. Even the Air Jordan 1 breads, when they released back in 2016, they were limited and they had 100k pairs worldwide releasing. Just imagine that. 15k, 100k. You thought these are hard to come by these days? You wait till those Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1s. And if they're region exclusive, who even knows, man? It's going to be wild. But that is all the sneaker news that I want to talk about in section 6 today, guys. So we'll move on over now and start covering the upcoming streetwear and fashion releases that are happening this week. Now moving into section 7, guys, I know that we don't have much of this week left, but I wanted to cover last week and this week in upcoming streetwear and fashion releases, and same with the sneaker releases, but because my birthday last week on Sunday, I didn't get to do the episode on Sunday, and I've just not been able to do it every day after that because of work. I've finally been able to catch up on it, so let's do it. We don't have a lot that hasn't already released to cover, but we're going to cover it all regardless in this section. So we're going to be talking about the upcoming streetwear and fashion releases from the 3rd of May to the 16th of May. So basically 2 weeks ending this weekend. So to kick it off with, we have that Travis Scott and Neighborhood Japan collaborated on, well, it dropped initially on the 2nd, but then the drop finished on the 3rd. So I kind of gave it, it finished on the 3rd, it still counts. What we got was a bunch of cool collaborative pieces. We got a cool hoodie, which unfortunately was a zip up, but I really liked the graphics on this piece. And we got this incense chamber as well, inspired by Travis Scott's, it was 2015, wasn't it? Rodeo was 2015. His 2015 album. It was a cool collaboration. I would actually like to see mainstream artists and big hip hop acts and big acts in general collaborating with, bigger brands like this. Like, I know you have things like Harry Styles doing campaigns for Gucci, but I mean actual pieces that these artists design and do, and potentially grab their old albums and apply that artwork or that style or aesthetic do pieces with these clothing brands like Travis Scott did here with these rodeo themed neighborhood pieces. I just thought it was really cool, and I think we should definitely do that stuff in the future. Like, I would love to see, I mean, a big hypothetical here, like Kanye grabbing Yeezus or his other albums and collaborating with big name brands to do, you know, pieces inspired by either that album's tone, artwork, whatever. It would just be really cool to see that kind of thing going forward. But I don't know, maybe it's just Travis Scott, but I don't think anyone else is going to do that anytime soon. Anyway, this collaboration finished up releasing on the 3rd of May. Up next, we had another Japanese brand collaborating and doing a release. We had on the 5th of May, Nigo's Human Made collaborating with Girls Don't Cry. Now, initially when I heard that there was going to be another upcoming collaboration, I got excited because a while ago they released this varsity jacket together, and that was easily one of my favorite pieces of all time. It was an amazing piece of clothing. So I got really excited hearing about this upcoming collaboration. Then I saw what they actually released and I wasn't too enthralled by it. What we got was some long sleeves, some boxing shorts, and like a bunch of accessories. Like, I'm talking more accessories than pieces in this collaboration, clothing pieces. It was odd. I was like, okay, I kind of would have liked some clothing or more clothing, or just not long sleeves and not boxer shorts, you know? Like some hoodies, give me some hoodies, crew necks, t-shirts, varsity jackets, any kind of jackets. I just wanted something a little bit different, but whatever. They collaborated on the 5th of the 5th. Let me know if you guys are feeling those boxer shorts at all though. We have our favorite New York streetwear brand. We have Kith. They released 2 capsules in this time frame. On the 3rd of May, they released their Cloud Print Monday program. I thought this was a bit of a skippable Monday program. We covered it in the Streetwear Talk video. You can definitely go watch that Streetwear Talk video if you want to see me dive into it a little bit further. But I basically was only kind of keen on the bucket hat. The rest of it, bit of a snooze fest. Moving on, we then had the tie-dye capsule to celebrate Kith's new sub-label, Kith Design Studios. That released a week later on the 10th of the 5th. It had a cool hoodie and some cool white tie-dye shorts, but yeah, I wasn't really feeling the other prints. The other tie-dye prints were a little bit, I don't know, just not my color. Not my color for me. But that's all that Kith released during this time period. So we'll move on over now to Supreme New York. They released 2 weeks in this time frame. We had week 11 releasing on the 6th of the 5th, where we got the James Reed collaboration. I really like this collaboration. Unfortunately, I agreed with a lot of people in the comment section of my drop list video. The James Reed collaboration, it had a lot more potential because James Reed's work is like really monumental, but unfortunately it's been kind of dulled down for this Supreme collaboration. The Supreme collaboration in itself was okay, but the potential for what it could have been was a lot higher. But I did really like the varsity jacket that released in it and the knit sweater that released in it as well. They were fun. I like the graphics on it. They were a good time. Moving into week 12, which released on the 13th of the 5th, 2021. So literally yesterday on Thursday, we had the Smeg fridge released this week. A wacky collab. I don't know why they did this, man. They just released a fridge. I discussed it in great detail in the drop list video as well. And we also had the Timberlands collab. I thought the Timberlands collab was actually quite good this season. Really liked the pants, the crew neck, and the beanie. They were pretty good. Wasn't really feeling the nylon anorak kind of stuff. Just not my aesthetic. But that's everything that Supreme released in this time period. So we'll move on over to Palace. Palace started their spring 2020, their summer 2021 season in this time frame. They kicked off week 1 on the 7th of May 2021 with a very nice tri-flag jacket, some wacky Crocs, a chain stitch bomber jacket with this amazing chain stitch duck graphic on the back of it, and an infinity denim, a denim with covered in infinity chains that obviously was the Palace logo stitched onto that as well. It was really cool, really good week 1. Moving on to week 2, we had the overarching theme in week 2 was the Sportini pieces. This was the pieces with the collegiate textile that arches over the chest. It was okay, But what was the big highlight of week 2 was the collaboration with M-Zone. They released a bunch of pieces with this London skate shop called M-Zone, and it was just these like crazy goblin graphic done in like these like acid LSD colors. It was awesome. It was really, really cool. Definitely go check out week 2's drop list if you haven't already. There were some awesome pieces that released in that. But that's all the upcoming streetwear and fashion releases that I have from the 3rd of May to the 16th of May. So let's turn on over and dive into these sneaker releases for the same period. Now moving into section 8, guys, our final section. We don't have a lot to cover before the end of the week, but we're still going to cover it regardless. So from the 3rd of May to the 16th of May, we still have a lot of releases to talk about. So on the 4th of May, BAPE and is it Stewie I honestly can't pronounce it. Released a first camo slide. I gotta say, it's not looking too bad. The camo slides are actually kind of, you know, speaking to me a little bit. They released for $220 US, which, yikes, some expensive slides right there. Honestly, if you like BAPE and you like Suey Coke, and then you're like, damn, I want them to come together, and I'm willing to pay 220 USD retail for them, go for your life. You do you, but yeah, 220 is more expensive than the retail for a pair of like Jordan 4s and 5s. Like, that's a lot of money when you put it into perspective. So yeah, I don't know, maybe not for me, but it was a cool release, and it's our first release that we're going to be discussing today. Next, we have that Atmos and Nike collaborated on some LeBron 18 lows to do a biotech colorway. So we talked about the first LeBron 18 lows in recent releases. I'm talking about the second one. Again, a cool little change up of the LeBron 18 lows. Not really my silhouette, but I like the little touches they did to it. These released for $160 US on the 4th of May. Coming up next, we had the Air Jordan 1. I think that, what are these called? These are the rust shadows. Is that what they're called? The nasty ass looking Jordan 1s where they've grabbed the shadows and then someone's just like painted some rust on it. It just looks whack, man. I'm not a fan of these. These released for $170 US on the 4th of May, and you know what? May the 4th not be with them. They're just ugly. I really don't like them. Let me know if you guys feel differently about them, but I think these colorway is hideous, man. Next, we had Supreme and Nike collaborate on some MX 96s. They released in week, I want to say 11 of Supreme's Spring Summer 2021 collection. They released in 3 colorways. They released for $175 US. They released in a camo, a silver, and a black. Gotta say, all 3 are disgusting. Like, they are just nasty, man. Don't put transparent panels on shoes. Nobody wants to see your nasty ass feet. Why would you put them on there? It's just, miss me with it. We don't want transparent panels on shoes. Like, come on, man. Use a different material. Go wacky with the materials, but just don't put some transparency on it. It makes it look a little bit gross. Next, we had a famous Milan boutique Slam Jam. I have purchased and unboxed from them before. They're a very good boutique. I would recommend going to them for your high fashion and designer needs. They collaborated with New Balance to do a 991, and it released on the 7th of the 5th, so the 7th of May. I couldn't find the retail price for these, but boy, I gotta say, these were nice. They looked really utilitarian. The color was really nice mix of grays and blacks and stuff. Thumbs up from me. Really good work on these Slam Jam. I thought these were really, really cool. Next, we had an Air Jordan 11 women's low. We had it coming in the bright citrus color for $185 US on the 6th of May. I actually quite like this colorway. Simple white and like very hot orange. But honestly, they're lows, low 11s. Low 11s are nice. I quite like either low 11s or high 11s. I don't know how you guys feel about low 11s, but I think they're good, and I definitely can see a lot of chicks rocking the white and orange color scheme here. It's very easy to wear, especially with like just the midsole / outsole being orange. I think that was a very smart move with the coloring there. Works very nicely with the 11s, either in highs or lows, just coloring the outsole. Good stuff. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about it. Would you pick these up? I think they're quite nice. Next, Next, we have a whack collaboration that everyone's just been getting around because Crocs have been trending recently. What we have is we have Palace and Crocs collaborated for week 1 of Palace's summer 2021 collection, which dropped, of course, on the 7th of the 5th there. Look, I thought these were ridiculous, but everyone's getting around, Crocs these days, so it was probably smart for Palace to do this collaboration because it brought attention to Palace, but sticker Crocs. Next, we had another Air Jordan 11 low. We had the Legend Blues come out for $185 on the 7th of May. I mean, I thought these were kind of cool. Again, just like the citrus ones, they're just an Air Jordan 11 low, white upper, changed color outsole. Easy to wear. I don't mind these. I think these are fine. I actually kind of like, I hope Jordan Brand kind of continues this overarching theme and does like all white high top 11s and then just changes the outsole color to something a little bit spicy and then maybe changes some of the inner details to that same color. That could be really cool. I would like Jordan Brand to do something like this. Give some more love to the 11s, lows or highs. Stop doing Air Jordan 1s. There's too many. But anyway, this was a really nice colorway. I definitely rate the Legend Blues. Next, we had the Air Jordan 7 Flint. I think this is the 2021 retro because this is obviously a reoccurring colorway that gets retroed all the time. But yeah, these released for $190 on the 8th of May. I am just honestly very happy to see an Air Jordan 7 release. I am just very happy to see any Air Jordan release that isn't a 1 these days. There's very few Air Jordan 1s that really speak to me these days. Like the late 2010s was like ideal for the Air Jordan 1, like mid to late 2010s. But the 2020s, they're just doing really whack colorways for them. So I'm just really excited to see a different Jordan model getting retroed these days, and the Flints weren't a bad colorway, but yeah, God, the bar's so low now for Jordan retros that I'm just like, give me something different and I'll be happy with it, to be honest. Next, we had the Adidas Yeezy 500 Enflame colorway. Again, just like the 700s that we talked about, these are just a wacky ass color. Like, I don't know what they're doing. They're doing this like Sunny D looking orange for the midsole, and then they're just doing all these whack crazy colors for the upper. I gotta say though, I do like these 500s more than the 700s that they did, the bright blue 700s. And these released for $200 on the 8th of May. But like, it's just odd. It's just odd. Can Yeezy have some direction, please? I don't know, it's just odd, but this is definitely better than the other stuff that we've been seeing from them. I'm not gonna lie about that. We had a Nike SB collaboration. We had Nike SB collaborate with Stingwater for a Dunk Low Magic Mushroom colorway, which featured this elephant print all over the toe box and one of the back panels. These released for $125 and they released on the 10th of May. They were alright. I like Stingwater's unique take on the swoosh on the side panel there and having the name trail off down the side of the swoosh. I thought that was kind of cool. It made it a little bit different. Most people won't be feeling these because they're just that like icy blue midsole and outsole and then that very vibrant red on top. I could totally understand that. The colorway is a little bit whack, but the silhouette itself wasn't too bad. Not the best Nike SB collaboration, but it was nice to see things getting changed up a little bit here. Next, we have one of the biggest releases for a while. We have that the Air Jordan 1 Retro KO Chicago colorway released for $140 on the 12th of the 5th. Now, man, this is a throwback for me. This is bringing out my real sneaker boomerness right here. I remember when the Air Jordan 1 Chicago KOs came out in the mid 2010s. I want to say 2014 because they came out before the 2015 retro, the actual Chicago one. It was such a different time back then. I remember when the KOs came out and then the 2015 Chicagos came out, and I was talking to my mate Dorian at the time. And I was like, damn, I kind of like the KOs. And my mate Dorian was like, dude, don't buy the KOs. The knockoffs. Why would you buy the canvas ones when you can buy the leather ones? And I was like, damn, 100% right. I'm just going to save up the money and buy the leather ones, which is exactly what I did way back when. Yeah, now people are so desperate, they're so thirsty for the Chicago colorway that, yeah, people are copping the KOs these days. The reason that they're called the KOs, this was a long-standing rumor. Everyone was like, why are they called the KOs? Are they the Air Jordan 1 knockouts because they're meant to be like, you know, canvas boxing shoes? This is unconfirmed, but this is the ongoing rumor. So they're called the knockoffs, and someone emailed a Nike employee that worked at Nike during the 80s and said, hey, what do the KOs stand for? What does it mean? And this Nike employee said, look, back in the 80s, you had all leather basketball shoes, and we wanted to do a little knockoff of it and use canvas instead. So that's why we created back in 1986 the Air Jordan 1 KOs. They were little insider jokes to knock off the Air Jordan 1. I think it's cool. I'm glad to see these retro. I actually want the KOs to come out regularly because I think a canvas version of the Air Jordan 1s like this is actually really cool. And these actually did release back when the Air Jordan 1 released. So it's not like Nike is coming out with this out of desperation to feed that Air Jordan 1 craze that's going on. This is legitimately a retro of something that released back in the 80s, and I really like it. I would love to pick up a pair myself, just to do a little review on them, and also just to have them, because I have the Chicago Jordan 1s, the Chicago Jordan 1.5s, but I don't have the lows or the KOs. So I would love to pick up the KOs. They aren't going for too much on the secondary market because people don't want them. They want the Air Jordan 1s. Again, for actual, you know, sneakerheads and collectors, the KOs are still a definite pickup. So I would be interested in picking them up. They only released for $140 US and they released on the 12th. So who knows? I might be able to pick myself up a pair. Moving on, we have another women's exclusive. We had the women's Nike Dunk Low SE Easter colorway. These released for $110 US on the 14th of the 5th. I thought these were really, really cool. It's just like a playful pastel dunk low, and I'm kind of jealous that the women got that as an exclusive. You know, this is a nice colorway. This is kind of steezy, you know. I don't know. I think a lot of people will like these. Let me know how you feel about the Easter dunk lows down in that comment section below. Next, we had a Jaden Smith collaboration. Yes, we had that New Balance released the Jaden Smith Vision Racer in the all, well, I don't want to say all pinks, but they're mostly pinks. They are hot ass pink. This is an original silhouette designed by Jaden Smith. They released for $150 US on the 14th of May. Look, I think these are kind of cool. I like the, you know, New Balance is collaborating with big time, you know, I guess celebrity icons, artists, and doing these types of things. I think this is really cool. I would like to see it in other colorways because the hot pink one is a little bit too hot for me. But interestingly, I would also like to see a high top version to see how Jaden would handle a high top version of this shoe as well, just to see how it would look. But that is it. It released on the 14th of the 5th, guys. Let me know how you feel about Jaden Smith's New Balance collaboration. Moving into another Air Jordan 1. This one I'm actually quite warm to, mainly because, well, it's a second version of an OG colorway, a colorway that released in 1985. So I'm simping a little bit for it. What we have is the Air Jordan 1 High Shadow 2.0s, a black and shadow gray version of the color blocking of the UNCs. So see the UNCs here, it's just a black and gray version of these bad boys here. Look, I really like it. I would actually like to pick these up, but as I said in my recent pickups, I recently spent my money on some sneakers, so I'm gonna have to save up some more money in my sneakers account before I can pick these bad boys up. But yeah, super awesome shoe. Would love these. I honestly, it takes me back when I first got into sneakers and Air Jordan 1 shadows were like under retail because everyone's like, oh, who wants this colorway? Now they go for dumb money. I should have bought them back then. Hindsight, god damn it. But yeah, would love to pick up the version 2s, and it's going to be the same scenario, I bet you, in a couple years. Right now, they're a little bit hot. But a couple years from now, people are going to be like, damn, remember the Shadow 2.0s? I definitely want to pick it up before the price just goes bam, like that. And last but not least, we have one more release to cover for this episode, guys, which is the Nike SB Dunk High TV Signals. They released on the 15th of May, or they're going to release on the 15th of May, and the date may move on those. It's a little bit shady on if they're actually going to release on the 15th of May, and the retail price we're a little bit unsure of. So that's why I'm saying the date may move for, you know, a different date when we have more confirmation details. These basically look like, was it Futura that did it? No, it was Huff, wasn't it? Huff did those like psychedelic dunks in the early 2000s. This kind of just looks like them, but with a little bit of glitchy graphics on them. That's what it kind of looks like. So I feel like it's kind of just like the poor man's psychedelic dunks that they released in the early 2000s. Again, I want to say that they did them with Huff. My like SB knowledge is not all that good, but yeah. Either way, it's still quite a nice colorway, and if dunks were in a size 16 or 17, I wouldn't mind picking these up. These are kind of cool. But anyway, that is all the upcoming sneaker releases I have from the 3rd of May to the 16th of May, guys. Let me know how you feel about these collaborations, these releases, and everything that's coming out in that time frame down in that comment section below. But that is it, guys. That is episode 17 all wrapped up. We covered some big topics in this video. We covered that Drake and Chrome Hearts are collaborating to do some certified Loverboy merch. Travis Scott's Fragment Jordan 1s, the retail pairs, their images finally leaked. And we had Supreme opened their Milan flagship store. Wild. And also all the, you know, recent and upcoming releases that we covered. It was pretty crazy. I want to hear from you guys on how you feel about any of the releases in episode 17. And I also just want to say I'm very sorry that I didn't get episode 17 out on time. I will try my best. I will get my hungover ass to do episode 18 on this Sunday. Well, I'll try and get myself to do it. I'm going to instantly start writing episode 18 once I edit and upload this video for sure, guys. But let me know if I missed out on any releases that I should have covered in any of those time frames down in that comment section below. And of course, if you guys want me to keep doing upcoming Sneakers and Stuff episodes, don't forget to leave a big old like on this video, comment in that comment section down below, and subscribe to the channel, as we're also trying to aim for the new subscriber milestone of 2,985 subscribers. You guys have been killing it. We were aiming for 2,980. We're now at 2,984. We literally need one more to hit 2,985. So subscribe today, guys, and hopefully we can reach that milestone before the end of May. But that's everything to be said about episode 17, guys. I hope you managed to pick up any of the upcoming releases that I mentioned in this episode. Let me know if you do pick up any of them. I would love to hear from you guys in that comment section below. That's all to be said, though. So until episode 18, until the next sneaker talk video, until the next streetwear talk video, guys, I'll catch you later.